Rockies owner, Rusty Roseleap. Multiple contributions from the university were made to make sure Rockies has the best home possible. WIU Homecoming is right around the corner, and the annual Paint the Pause begins next week. The annual Paint the Pause takes place next Friday, September 28th. The event is sponsored by the Student Alumni Leadership Council. Students, faculty, and staff are all invited to come out and help paint more than 200 paws around the campus
now
roads.
From Macomb.
There will be 2 different shifts. The first one is at 1 p.m. and the second at 3 p.m. Those interested in painting should head over to Western Hall at one of those 2 times. Painting supplies will be provided. This big event is known to students at the official start of the homecoming week. And a local organization is welcoming families, students, and what? Oh, we good? Yeah.
Now from Macomb. Now from Macomb in high definition, you're watching Sinead Glasgow, Brody Waddell, weather with meteorology major Nicholas Stewart, and now from Macomb. Live from Saline.
The following is a production of the Department of Broadcasting at Western Illinois University.
Coming up on Live at 4, Macomb police make an astonishing discovery. We have the details. Also, smoking around campus is becoming a controversy. We have the story. And are these beautiful days here to stay?
Well, Sinead, it's a perfect autumn day out there right now. We're looking at mostly sunny skies in Macomb, 74 degrees. All of this and more at Live at 4.
Live from Saline Hall in high definition. News 3 starts now.
Local police make a lucky discovery following a routine traffic stop. Good morning. Welcome to Live at 4. I'm Brody Waddell.
And I'm Sinead Glasgow. This is roughly what 1 pound of cocaine looks like.
And on Wednesday morning, Macomb police say they uncovered at least half this amount in the trunk of an SUV. 2 females from Iowa were pulled over after failing to signal a turn onto a city street. Macomb police say the smell of cannabis in the car led to a search, which uncovered nearly $23,000 worth of cocaine. 27-year-old Dolores Darnell and 34-year-old Monique Nicholson were both charged with manufacturing and delivery of a controlled substance. Darnell was also cited for not having a valid license. Macomb Deputy Chief says it's important that their officers remain vigilant even during routine traffic stops.
2 weeks ago, we had an officer that pulled over a vehicle for doing 48 in a 30-mile-an-hour zone at like 10 or 11 o'clock at night. And he gets up there, and the guy is like really nervous, sweating and everything. Well, it turns out he just stole a 60-inch TV from Walmart, and it was in the back seat of the car.
Cornell is being held on a $20,000 bond, and Nicholson is being held on a $10,000 bond.
Smokers at WIU may want to think about leaving their cigarettes at home next semester. News 3's Sarah Despain reports on the new rules that are set to go into effect. Starting next year, WIU's campus will have to get used to a new rule on smoking due to a new bill signed by Governor Pat Quinn. The Smoke-Free Campus Act will ban smoking on campuses of all state-funded colleges and universities, and punishments come along with the ban.
Smoke-Free Campus Act requires a few action steps by the university. First being that the institution will develop a community task force to promulgate policy, sanctions, fines.
Some students are not so enthused by the smoking ban.
It's kind of like infringing on my freedoms as a smoker. Like, there's rights for non-smokers, but what about the people that smoke?
But others feel the ban is a great thing to happen to Western.
I think it's long overdue. I think as a non-smoker, I think sometimes smokers tend to forget that we don't smoke.
The ban will not take place for a few more months. In the meantime, WIU Administrative Services are working on the consequences. Many students are showing concern where they will be able to smoke once the ban is put in motion. However, there are exceptions to the rules. Students will be able to smoke in campus parking lots as long as they are sitting in their car. If you need help, there are many ways the BU can help with that.
Good news is that tobacco cessation is free here on our campus.
10 years ago, 37% of all college students considered themselves smokers. Today, that number is only 22%. For News 3, I'm Sarah Despain. The smoking ban will go into effect on campus this December. And it was a beautiful day to take a walk around campus with the highs in the low 70s. News 3's Nicholas Stewart is here with a look at tonight and tomorrow in our first look. Nick?
Yeah, you couldn't ask for a better late autumn day, or actually, we're still in summer actually. It did feel like autumn last week. Beautiful late summer day out there. We're currently at 74 degrees. Again, we have these light and fluffy, fair weather cumulus clouds kind of moving on through the square. Again, here's a live look at the Macomb Square. Across our area, you can see temperatures are all fairly consistent, all in the mid to low 70s, 74 in Macomb, 75 Galesburg, and 75 in Burlington as well. We're looking at a good weather coming up this weekend to start your work week. There is a chance of rain on this weekend, but we'll have your full details in just a couple minutes. Back to you.
Nick? Chandler Park will be very busy this weekend because the Gazebo Art Festival and Alseer's Jazz Festival will be held in the park this Saturday. The park will have a gazebo, memorials, brick paths, and shaded lawns. You will be able to view original art and have a chat with artists while listening to live music and performances. There will be food vendors and art activities for children. The festivities will begin at 9 a.m.
In more local news, with university enrollment numbers down across the state, colleges are looking for ways to boost enrollment. News 3's Perm Tinsey tells us more about WIU's efforts.
College of Fine Arts and Communication held their second annual COFAC Fest. You saw faculty, students, and even a man in a hot dog suit. But what exactly is the purpose of this event?
COFAC Fest is an opportunity to welcome back our current students and welcome our new students to the college, and also undeclared majors have a chance to come and talk to any of our departments.
All 6 of the departments within the college had information tables set up. That way, students can gain first-hand knowledge of what each department has to offer.
Communication sciences and disorders. And we put our table out here today just to mainly get students to know more about what CSD is and about our clinic.
Now with the boatload of information to give out, how exactly did COFAC Fest get students' attention?
Well, actually, the smell of the hot dogs drew me to this event.
With the smell of the grill in the air and 88.3 The Dog music filling the campus, students couldn't resist to see what was going on.
At first I heard the music, and then I smelled the food, and I saw they were giving away free food, so I knew I had to come over here.
The COFAC Fest is a great way for students to learn about the departments in the College of Fine Arts and Communication. If you missed out this year, don't worry. There will be another one next year. For WIU TV3, I'm Perm Tinsey.
More than 500 people came out for the event. Western Illinois University says it's investing in the future of their incoming freshmen. Western is offering several different scholarships, including the Western Commitment that is offered to incoming freshmen with at least a 20 on their ACT and a 3.0 or higher GPA. The students that have an ACT score of 30 or better will be receiving a $10,000 scholarship.
Yeah, it's very important for us as a university to try and keep students once we get them here. And 2 years ago, our retention rate of our freshman class returning as sophomores was 63.3%. So we worked very hard on identifying ways that we could have early intervention programs with these students so that they could be successful and come back. And we've realized that this
President Jack Thomas says for the past 10 years there has been a decline in overall enrollment, and they are trying to stabilize this downward trend.
Sunday is the last day for 70% refunds and credits for the total university withdrawal. Don't get caught up on homework and friends this weekend and forget to get your refunds back from dropping classes. You can stop by or call in at the office of the registrar, so don't panic because they'll be available for you all day. Noticed anything different about Go West buses? Well, let's just say they are doing some interior decorating. Go West Transit has put up some new informational material to inform students on the consequences of breaking Macomb City laws. What many people don't know is that Macomb PD and Go West has a long-running partnership that will be bringing some new changes to the Go West transit system. This includes some high-tech updates to go along with those already in place. News 3's Kyle Samuels will have the full story for you tomorrow on Good Morning Macomb.
WIU's beloved mascot is getting a new place to call home. Colonel Rock III's new doghouse will be over 6 feet tall and will be fully insulated along with air conditioning and a plexiglass door. The construction of Rocky's new house was completed by the dad of Rocky's owner, Rusty Roseleib. Multiple contributions from the university were made to make sure Rocky has the best home possible. And WIU homecoming is right around the corner, and the annual Paint the Paws begins next week. The annual Paint the Paws takes place next Friday, September 28th. The event is sponsored by the Student Alumni Leadership Council. Students, faculty, and staff are all invited to come out and help paint more than 200 paws across the campus roads. There will be 2 different shifts. The first one is at 1 p.m. and the second is at 3 p.m. Those interested in painting should head over to Western Hall at one of those 2 times. Painting supplies will be provided. This big event is known to students at the official start to the homecoming week. A local organization is welcoming families, students, and four-legged friends to a barbecue playdate this weekend. The Epitome Dog Rescue is hosting Pack the Place with Pitties this Sunday from 2 to 7 p.m. at the Emmett Calmers Fire Station. Chow down on some barbecue served by volunteer firefighters and meet some of the adoptable dogs while playing games with your family. To become a volunteer or donate to the organization, contact Paige Zick at prz102@wiu.edu.
Each week, News 3 brings you a closer look at an animal in need of a home from McDonough County Animal Shelter. This week's pet of the week is Cheetah. This little fireball is a brown tabby and was a stray drop-off. Drew Hoffman tried to get Cheetah to sit down for an interview, but he was too playful. Cheetah is a younger cat somewhere in between 12 and 18 weeks old. He is one of 80 cats that were being housed at the McDonough County Animal Shelter in the month of August, and the shelter only has space for 34. The shelter currently has around 50 cats and is trying to get back down to 34 so each cat can live a little more comfortably until they are adopted.
Coming up in 2 minutes on News 3's Live at 4. An Illinois mom is worried for her children after a devastating hurricane.
A University of Virginia student is still missing, but police have new footage that could lead to where she is.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
I think NEWS3 is great. It's all one common goal. Everybody's trying to be #1. Last year we were #1 in the nation. We beat out Florida and Oklahoma. I get to work with so many professionals. It's a really great experience, and they're always there to help, and it's just all around fun. Jasmine Crichton really does make it a real life experience that most schools maybe not, they don't offer that.
Now from Macomb in high definition, you're watching Shanae Glasgow, Brody Waddell, weather with meteorology major Nicholas Stewart, and sports with Tyler Eddy. Live at 4 continues.
An Illinois mom says her 2 sons are trapped in Mexico and quickly running out of food. Nick and Vince Mangiamelli were in Cabo San Lucas for their dad's 2nd wedding when Hurricane Odile hit. Their dad is a fire lieutenant in Hoffman Estates outside of Chicago. The boys told their mother that supplies are running low and looters are threatening them. The American Embassy says it's up to Mexican officials to help. At last check, the boys were going to try and walk to the airport.
New clues into the disappearance of a missing University of Virginia student. Business surveillance video released by Charlottesville, Virginia police appears to show a man following Hannah Elizabeth Graham. The 18-year-old has been missing since Saturday. The first video shows a white male walking into the camera's view. He looks over his shoulder, then steps into a doorway, and Graham walks past him. After she passes, the male starts walking behind her. The second video is taken from a camera at a jewelry store. The video shows Graham walking with the same white male some distance behind her. WTVR reported that Graham left a diner with a group of friends around 11 p.m. Friday. Around 1:20 a.m. Saturday, she sent a text to friends saying she was lost. The teen's mysterious disappearance comes nearly 5 years after the unsolved killing of another student in the area. So far, investigators haven't found anything to tie the two cases.
It's a historic day in Scotland as voters hit the polls to decide whether to secede from the United Kingdom and become an independent country. It's a move that could have a huge impact, not just in the region, but globally. More than 4.2 million registered voters, the largest electorate ever in Scotland, had a chance to vote on a referendum that asks the question, should Scotland be an independent country? Registered voters as young as age 16 had a chance to vote. Opinion polls showed that going into today's vote, it is essentially neck and neck. There is no clear frontrunner, and about 8% of voters remain undecided. The polls closed just about 15 minutes ago. We'll have an update on the decision tomorrow morning on Good Morning Macomb.
Hopefully you have gotten the chance to step outside and enjoy the beautiful weather today. But what does the weekend have in store for us?
Stay tuned. Nick Stewart has your weekend outlook and your full weather forecast ahead.
When some people struggle with their mortgage payments, they become frozen, petrified. Not knowing what to do, they do nothing. But the people who take action are far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making Home Affordable is a free government program. Call now to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about the options that are right for you. Real help, real answers, right now.
You always made sure I brushed my teeth.
You told me that smart was cool.
You always told me to dream big.
To all of those parents who took the time to make raising their children their most important job, we'd like to say,
thank you.
Thank you.
From the bottom of my heart, thanks, Mom and Dad.
This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
Where do you think you're going?
Is your body holding you back?
I want to go running. Not with that knee, you're not. I'm fine. Negative.
Your bones and joints can say no at any age.
With that shoulder, you're gonna pick up that truck. Really?
Keeping you from working, playing, or just plain moving.
Let's not pick her up. What do you say?
Yet a lot of people who live with pain fight back.
Use your head. Save your back. My bride, my rules.
And regain their lives.
You gotta be kidding me.
Whoa. I'm going running. I'm going running.
Got to see this. Come on, pick it up.
Fight for your mobility. Find your own inspiration at anationinmotion.org. A message from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons.
Come on. I'll take it from here.
It was a beautiful late summer day here in Macomb. Again, right now we're at 74 degrees in Macomb, also 74 in Davenport, 68 only in Chicago. They're behind a cold front that's sitting across the region. The cold spot in the Midwest, Kansas City sitting only at 65 degrees at this hour. As we look at the current combined satellite and radar composite, we're looking at just a few of these fair weather cumulus clouds kind of just moving through our area. The main cloud and shower activity is well off to our south and west. Almost the entire state of Missouri is under some form of cloud cover. These rain showers that are sitting across eastern Kansas, they're slowly decaying as they're moving south. They're not going to pose any threat to us. We're going to look at very beautiful conditions as we go across the next several days. But right now, again, we mentioned the cold front that's sitting across the northern portions of our area. It's bringing cooler conditions across Minnesota, Wisconsin, and all the way into Michigan as well. It's not necessarily colder conditions, just a little bit cooler than where we are right now. And again, most of this is still under cloud cover as well, this post-frontal cloud cover. As we go into the day, tomorrow, we're going to be looking at things starting to change a little bit. Mostly sunny conditions prevail almost the entire Midwest. As we look off to our west, we're also looking at a nice warming trend as well. Warm front passes up, starts entering Iowa by late tomorrow. Looking at temperatures, upper 80s, maybe even lower 90s across portions of the Dakotas, Nebraska, Kansas, all the way down into Oklahoma. Saturdays, we start the weekend. Things start to get a little bit more interesting. We're looking at another cold front. It's more so acting as a cool front. We're looking to drop our temperatures down just by a little bit. We're also looking at the chances of some thunderstorms and rain showers with this as well. I'm not completely sure exactly how much rain we're going to be talking yet. There are some very dry conditions that are kind of sitting over the entire region as we go into the weekend, but we're looking at the chance for at least a stray thunderstorm, especially late in the day on Saturday. Again, if you look off to our south and west, rainy conditions fill up Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas, the remnants of Hurricane Odile. Those are going to be dropping some pretty hefty rain totals across there. Here's a total precipitation through Sunday. We're looking at some areas 2 to 3 inches of rainfall across areas of Oklahoma. Closer to our neck of the woods, we're not looking at too much of the rainfall, only about a tenth to about a half an inch across much of Illinois. The Chicagoland area, we're starting to look at a little bit heavier rain totals, say upwards of 1 to 2 inches, especially right across, right by the lakefront there. For tonight, looking at a low about 48 degrees, light wind, but mostly clear conditions. If you want to go outside, check out the stars, maybe stargaze a little bit. Beautiful conditions can be out there. Maybe a little cool, maybe bring a jacket or a blanket with you. For tomorrow, look at that, 77. We're starting to inch up just a little bit closer to the 80-degree mark as we enter the late summer days here. Again, mostly sunny conditions. Light southerly wind is going to really help bring our temperatures up just a little bit more. In the 5-day forecast, I don't see anything I'm really complaining about. 83 on Saturday. Temperatures start cooling off just a little bit as we go into Sunday. But look at this, mostly sunny conditions across much of the 5-day forecast. I don't think there's really much we can complain about at all. Start of the school week tomorrow, or start of the school week on Monday, 71 degrees and 70 on Tuesday. So hopefully you guys can get out. Again, we're looking at just a little bit of rain chances on Saturday. But hopefully you can get outside and enjoy the weather a little bit this weekend.
I know, Nick. I'm not complaining either. I like these nice temperatures. I hope they're here to stay. But
yeah, I mean, last week was a little brutal with the cooler temperatures. We're looking at a lot of autumn-like temperatures. Temperatures very similar to the second week of October. Definitely a little bit more seasonal as we go around this week.
Well, definitely. Well, thanks again, Nick. Tyler's in next with sports. The Macomb Bombers and WIU men's soccer team will be in action this weekend. And another NFL player has been arrested for domestic abuse. We'll have the details.
Plus, could the St. Louis Cardinals hold off division rival Milwaukee? All that when we return to Live at 4.
Adopting a new pet is a rewarding experience. And Shelter Pets makes super pets. Your new best friend will steal your heart, bring you happiness, and enrich your life for years to come. You can make a difference in the life of an animal. Adopt and bring home a Shelter Pet today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
What do you think it would be like to teach? Chances are, you have no idea. Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places, and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable. That's what it's like to teach.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
When you get to be a part of the people that really are here for one common goal, one common interest, and that's to be the best, and that's such a big deal to me. You see all these plaques hanging around here, and I definitely want to make my mark before I leave here as well. Last year, there was no one better than Western's newscast. Plain and simple, we won statewide and then nationally. I couldn't be any happier with how things are going out for me right now. Everything that I wanted, I got.
Hello, Western Illinois. The Macomb Bomber football team will play in their first home game tomorrow night against Monmouth Roseville Titans. Friday also marks homecoming for the Bombers. The Orange and Black come in with a 1-2 record after beating West Hancock last week in double overtime. Monmouth Roseville will look for their first win of the season. The Titans have suffered losses to Dixon, Unity, and St. Joseph Ogden. Saturday could mean one of two things for the Northwestern football team. They could pick up their first win of the season against Western Illinois, or they could suffer their third loss. The Leathernecks are hoping for option number 2 as they head to Evanston to take on the Wildcats for the first time in program history. After a big win over Drake and WIU quarterback Trenton Norvell setting a record for the longest pass in team history, the Leathernecks will look to upset the Big Ten Conference Wildcats. The Leatherneck defense will look to stay sharp as well. They recorded 7 sacks against Drake on Saturday, which was the highest in a game since October of 2002. WIU men's soccer got some encouraging news this week. Sophomore forward Jacob Bevan was named Summit League Offensive Player of the Week after his performance in the High Point Plaza Classic over the weekend. Bevan scored 2 goals and recorded 1 assist during the tournament. This is the first career honor for Bevan. The men's soccer team will kick off again tomorrow night against Valparaiso. You can see the Leathernecks in action Sunday as they return home to play Western Michigan. Now to football. Just when you thought the NFL had control of the domestic abuse issue, another player has been brought up on charges. Arizona Cardinals running back Jonathan Dwyer was arrested Wednesday on allegations of domestic abuse and assault from an incident at his home back on July 21st and 22nd. Reports say the assault involved a 27-year-old woman and an 18-month-old child. Dwyer has denied physically assaulting both the woman and child. Today, the Cardinals placed Dwyer on the non-football injury list. However, Dwyer will still collect a paycheck. Now for some happy football news. For the second time in 2 weeks, the Chicago Bears will be in the primetime spotlight. After a big comeback win against the San Francisco 49ers on Sunday Night Football, the Bears will set their sights to Monday night, where they'll face off against the New York Jets. The Monsters of the Midway will be without veteran defensive back Charles Tillman, who suffered a season-ending and possibly career-ending torn triceps injury against the 49ers. The Jets are coming off a heartbreaking loss to the Green Bay Packers, who climbed from a 21-point deficit to beat the Jets last Sunday. Moving on to baseball now, the St. Louis Cardinals and Milwaukee Brewers were scoreless until the 7th when Matt Adams singles up the middle. Jeanette can't get it, and Carlos Gomez loses his footing. He'll fall down. That allows Matt Holliday to come all the way around from first and score. 1-0 Cardinals. And the next batter, Johnny Peralta, he'll single up the middle. And that'll bring Matt Adams all the way around from first base. Cards go up 2-0. And that's all Adam Wainwright would need. He gets Lyle Overbay to ground out to end it. Waino gets the complete game shutout. He improves to 19-8 on the year, and the Cardinals hold a 2.5-game lead in the NL Central. Last night marked the 21st time the Cardinals have shut out an opponent this season. That's the most since the Cardinals had 30 back in 1968. And Shanae and Brody, Monmouth, Macomb this Friday, tomorrow night. What was the rivalry like when you guys were in high school? You guys are Titans alums.
You know, it was always a rival, and it was more so in basketball.
Basketball, for
Yep.
sure.
Thanks, Tyler. Coming up next on Live at 4, two members of the NEWS3 family explore their wild sides.
See what happened when Tyler, Eddie, and I took a leap off of Salee Hall earlier today.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Crack yellow.
Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. Go to discovertheforest.org.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
There you
Our own sports anchor volunteered to rappel down Salee this afternoon. He ended up stumbling out of the gate and lost his footing, resulting in him hanging off the side of the building.
He would recover, but shortly after, he flew off the wall. Luckily, the man belaying him below was able to help Tyler land safely on the ground. The military science department allows the public to rappel from the building once a semester.
That will do it for our Thursday show. For Nicholas Stewart, I'm Shanae Glasgow.
And for Tyler Eddy, I'm Brody Waddell. We'll stay on top of your news overnight and bring you the latest updates tomorrow morning at 10 on Good Morning Macomb.
Until then, we're always online and on social media. Have a good evening.